Good evening and welcome to Newsline. Tonight's lineup promises to stir every emotion. In Kogi, chefs square off in a culinary boxing match that's as entertaining as it is mouth-watering. Then we'll journey to Banki, a community scared by insurgency, but still standing tall, rebuilding life with grit and grace. We'll also meet a road safety officer turned traditional leader, his new turban signaling fresh respect before whisking you to a dazzling 90-year-old matriarch's birthday that feels like living through a living history book. And the glow of an elegant wedding as the daughter of a quintessential gentleman steps into a new chapter wrapped in legacy. Now, each story tonight invites empathy over outrage, asking us to replace quick judgment with a moment of reflection. So whether you're here for lessons or simply to escape the noise, settle in. But first, Ogo Chukwuka Ona brings the latest headlines. Of course, Ogo, they say Yam has entered the boxing ring against Baines. I'm just wondering which one gets your vote. Yam, Baines, or, that unforgettable tag team, Yam and Baines combo. Which
Yam
one?
and Beans combo.
Yam and Baines combo.
Yes. An unbeatable tag team, I must say, due to its high fiber content. You know that. But Claire, have you any idea about the Beans and Dodo combo?
Of course. That's a popular combo. That's a popular combo. But of course, you can't beat Yam and Beans, combination. But at least we'll see what happens in Kogi when they get to the boxing ring.
All right, dear. Thank you so much for joining us on the news segment. And we begin the news from the Vatican City, where Pope Leo XIV set the tone for his papacy this Sunday. It came with a charge on the people to stop exploiting nature and marginalizing the poor. This was before an audience of world leaders and tens of thousands of pilgrims during his inauguration mass at St. Peter's Square. Ekede Ndulwe reports.
The 69-year-old Pope began the day by making his debut tour in a Pope mobile, greeting over 100,000 pilgrims, leaders from around the world, and representatives of Christian denominations. Pope Leo XIV marked the joyous start to his ministry, officially inaugurating it with a mass in St. Peter's Square. Among the dignitaries is President Bola Tinubu of Nigeria, who got a personal invitation from the Pope. Expressing his heartfelt gratitude for the prayerful and joyful support offered to him as he begins his ministry as Pope, Leo XIV recalled the intense emotions experienced over the past few weeks.
Troppe ferite causate dall'odio.
In his homily, the Pope laid out priorities for his papacy, criticizing an economic system that exploits nature and the poor. He noted that in current times, there are too much discord, too many wounds caused by hatred, violence, prejudice, and the fear of difference. The Pope also thanked everyone for accompanying in prayer the College of Cardinals meeting in conclave to elect the successor of Peter, as they looked at how to continue the mission of preaching the gospel with a shepherd able to address today's challenges. He recalled how love and unity are the two aspects of the mission entrusted to Peter by Jesus Christ. Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
And still there, demonstrating with practical example, President Bola Tinubu says his administration will continue to strengthen the bond of national unity, regardless of religious differences in Nigeria. This was the special message of the president as he attended the inaugural mass of Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican. State House correspondent Musbao Dan Wahab reports.
Thank you.
A special guest of the Pope here in the Vatican City. And the Vatican, a center of convergence for Catholics from around the world. It is a significant once-in-a-lifetime day for Pope Leo XIV as he assumes the papacy. a practicing Muslim, albeit President Tinubu apparently understands his position as a leader of the largest Catholic community in Africa, and so he qualifies for the front row at St. Peter's Square. He's here with other world leaders to grace the moment for the Vatican head of state. As the 267th Bishop of Rome and the new leader of the Roman Catholic Church, Pope Leo evoked some of the messages of his immediate predecessor, Pope Francis, pleading for peace in Ukraine and Gaza, among other warring areas. And after the Mass, President Tinubu takes his turn in a warm handshake with the Pope.
And you're here, even as a Muslim president. What does this mean regarding the national unity that you have been preaching?
Well, it's consistent in the true sense of unity in diversity. And I'm greatly honored. We have to continue to work on it. It's a work in progress for the sake of our country and the continent as a whole.
The Nigerian Catholic community was well represented at the event. From the Vatican City, Musbau and Wahab, NTA News.
A heartwarming moment there. Meanwhile, the leadership of the Catholic community in Nigeria has expressed appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for his support to the denomination through the period of burial rites for the immediate past Pope and the inauguration of the new one. President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Lucius Ugoji of Owerri, led others on appreciative visit to President Tinubu in Rome. Again, State House correspondent Musbau Dan Wahab reports.
The Nigerian flag conspicuously flying at St. Peter's Square as Pope Leo XIV began his reign as the global leader of the Roman Catholic Church. President, Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, Archbishop Lucius Ugoji of Owerri, Archbishop Ignatius Kaigama of Abuja, Archbishop Alfred Martins of Lagos, and Bishop Matthew Kuka of Sokoto led the Nigerian delegation to the Vatican. And just returning from the historic events, they paid an immediate visit to President Tinubu in Rome, underscoring the support of the Nigerian leader to the processes.
Along with you. So we are grateful, and I've already written to thank you for facilitating our coming for the funeral of Pope Francis. So now that you have come to the Vatican, so whenever we're having a conference in Nigeria, we'll also invite you, and we look forward to interfacing with you, just as you're able to do with the Holy Father.
The husband of a pastor has once again proven that religious dichotomy has no place under his leadership. And the president says this disposition is necessary to leverage the country's diversity for its prosperity.
It's an obligation to do such a thing for us to promote our unity in diversity and show Nigeria the sort of leadership that must prevail and exist all the time. If we are to use that diversity, not for adversity at all, but for courage for the country. It's historic for one to be on the saddle of presidency and for this to happen.
President Tinubu promises to always be there for any cause in the interest of Nigeria.
He has shown that this solidarity with the millions of people who are of the Catholic faith in Nigeria by attending this Mass, being himself a Muslim. This has also shown his commitment to the advancement of peace not just in the African region, but globally also.
What the president has shown is that he's a man who's tolerant of all religions and who believes in interfaith harmony, and who has even demonstrated it by the kind of appointments he made out of his cabinet. 62% of them are Christians. That shows the kind of man he is.
It changes the misconception that Nigeria is not a free, fair place to worship for multiple religious faith. So it shows the fact that a Muslim president can be accepted and is liberal to carry the whole country along.
From Rome, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
And joining the news via Zoom from Rome is Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama. The Most Reverend, it's not new that the new Pope sees Nigeria as his second home based on the frequency of his visits and, of course, his missionary work in these parts of the globe. So how would you describe the Pope's invitation to the President?
It's fantastic day. We witnessed the inaugural Mass of the 267th Pope of the Catholic Church. And the whole world was here. And from Muslim nations, from Christian nations, even from nations of other religions, they were all here. And that is the message, that this world could be a much better place if we all transcend our narrow religious perspectives and embrace one another. Like the Vatican City, the Pope, inviting our president in Nigeria, President Tinubu, who is a Muslim. It tells you that we should go beyond our religious narrow boundaries. We should be there for one another. And I am so happy that our president came. He did not only come, he also asked us to join him to come. We are Catholic leaders, religious leaders, and we came together. It was a fantastic ceremony to see our president in the midst of many others, long queue of leaders from all over the world, and he was one of them. I looked out specifically for him, and I was happy to identify him and to see him shaking hands with the Pope, talking with the Pope, and even after, to have time to dialogue with us in a very relaxed mood. I am so happy. I hope this relationship will continue, and we hope we in Nigeria should use religion positively. Religion is not to divide us. Religion should promote understanding, should promote development. Religion is to build and not to destroy. I think this is the message we are going home with.
All right, promoting religious tolerance. So what role will Africa play in the Pope's vision for the Church's future?
Luckily, the Pope is no stranger to Africa. He has been to Nigeria many times. Many of us even have met him in person. He has been to different parts of Africa. And even at the ceremony, you could see prominently that Africans were by his side. Cardinal Arinze was by his side, supporting him at Mass. It tells you that he is going to pay particular attention to Africa. We are not asking him to focus only on Africa. He is a global leader, a leader of the world, a pastoral and spiritual leader. So we expect him to look beyond Africa. But Africa needs specific attention. As he mentioned in his homily, Africa has been dominated, has been exploited, has been discriminated against. Something needs to be done by the wider world to correct these anomalies. So I hope this Pope will drive that process. We believe he will do it because he loves Africa and he cares for Africa.
All right, so as he begins his pontifical works officially, what should the people expect to see?
Well, his first words when he was pronounced the Pope was, "Peace be with you." And that, I believe, is the agenda of his pontificate. Peace and not war. Remember, every speech he has made since then is about living together in peace and harmony. avoiding war. War does not help anyone. It doesn't promote anything that is good. And then we should also practice interreligious dialogue. That is also one of his own very cardinal principles. We must mix together. We must be able to understand each other, use religion to promote what will bring national growth and development, and not to fight and kill and destroy. And definitely he's a Pope of unity. He's going to unite the South and the East, the North and the West. That is his duty given to him by Jesus Christ, as we read in Matthew chapter 16, verses 18 to 19. He gave him the authority to pasture the sheep, and he's definitely going to do that without discrimination. We believe in this Pope. He's going to do just as Pope Francis. He's even going to do more. We are very optimistic, and the whole world is watching and waiting.
All right, thank you so much, the Most Reverend Ignatius Kegama in Rome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Greetings from Rome.
Very well. All right, to other news now. The Development Bank of Nigeria, which is also spearheading climate finance, has attained its 1 trillion naira target and succeeded in disbursing the sum of 273.4 billion naira to MSMEs and about 151.24% disbursements made to women-led MSMEs in 2024. Managing Director of the bank, Tony Opanachi, disclosed this at the 5th edition of the Service Ambassadors Awards held in Lagos. Amaka Owo has details.
The Development Bank of Nigeria plays a crucial role in strengthening medium and small-scale enterprises across Nigeria by providing access to finance. The Service Ambassadors Awards is an appreciation platform and an indication that the bank does not operate in isolation, but achieve the 1 trillion naira milestone through collaboration and support of its partners for the advisory and innovation roles.
We know that the financing gap for MSMEs in Nigeria is over 13 trillion naira.
Deposit money banks and microfinance banks that made outstanding impact in the progress of medium and small-scale enterprises across the country were duly recognized. But the disbursements to young people, which increased by over 181% in line with the financial inclusion goals.
Work with different instruments on how they'll be able to assess this financing. First, globally, which is international, and even local mobilization of these finances so that we'll be able to do one, mitigation.
With a staff strength of less than 100, the bank remains a catalyst for economic growth in attaining the $1 trillion benchmark of the present administration. In Lagos, Amaka Owo, NTA News.
2 octogenarians, an 80-year-old Ayuba Ashiru and 10-year-old Uchechi Uloma Sunday, as well as her daughter Chisom Uchechi, 32, topped the list of suspects arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, in raids carried out across the country, while opioids worth over 3.2 billion naira were intercepted at Apapa Seaport in Lagos and Port Harcourt's Port One, River State. Let's get the details of the activities of the NDLEA in the past week. Operatives in Abia State raided the home of 82-year-old Mrs. Uloma Uchechi Sunday at Umuaguma, Ntiga, Uzo village, where different quantities of methamphetamine, tramadol, and skunk, a strain of cannabis, as well as a cash exhibit of 130,600 naira were recovered from her and her daughter. At the Port Harcourt Ports Complex in One, River State, a total of 3 million pills of pentadol and carisoprodol royal, 225 milligrams worth 2.1 billion naira in street value were intercepted in one of the containers watchlisted by the agency based on intelligence. The seizure was made on Wednesday, 14th May, during a joint examination of the container by NDLEA officers, men of customs service, and other security agencies. In like manner, NDLEA operatives at the Apapa Seaport in Lagos intercepted another watch-listed container declared to have new car parts, accessories from India. A total of 169 and 800 bottles of codeine syrup worth over 1.1 billion naira in street value were discovered concealed in the shipment. In Kwara State, no fewer than 199,200 pills tramadol were recovered from 2 suspects following their arrest at Gelegele area of Ilorin by NDLEA operatives. At a courier company in Lagos, NDLEA officers intercepted 250 grams of cocaine concealed in female headgear going to Australia. All right, sports is next, and Bade will be telling us the latest, including the National Sports Festival. All right, Bade, you are on.
Many thanks, Ogo. Let's go straight to it, as it was a spectacle to behold at the MQ Abiola Sports Complex in Abeokuta, as the 22nd National Sports Festival was declared open by Vice President Kashim Shettima in a colorful ceremony. The ceremony showcased the rich culture of the whole state, with all participating teams also on parade on an evening spiced with artistic displays and beautiful renditions of songs.
Welcome to National Arts Festival. Welcome to Sporting Fiesta. We welcome our fellow Nigerians.
It is my singular honor and privilege to relish and cherish forever. On behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, declare the 22nd National Sports Festival officially open. May the best teams win, and may Nigeria continues to soar.
Let the games begin. Let excellence thrive, and let Nigeria shine. Once again, I welcome you all to Abeokuta, the state's capital. I urge you to fully explore the delights of the Gateway State while you are here.
This is the very platform has produced some of our nation's most iconic athletes who rose from these grounds to achieve greatness on the global stage. You now stand on the same path with the opportunity to follow in their footsteps and become part of Nigerian rich sporting history.
We are very convinced and we are sure that by no means this is the best festival that you are ever going to observe in this country.
Quite colorful. Let's move on to football now, as the Flying Eagles of Nigeria defeated their Egyptian counterparts 4-1 on penalty to claim bronze at the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations in Egypt. Egypt took the early lead in the 3rd minute when Omar Hassan struck, while substitute Bidemi Amole equalized in the 47th minute to push the game into shootout. Meanwhile, South Africa defeated Morocco 1-0 to claim the 2025 title. The quartet of Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco and Egypt will represent Africa at the World Cup. To grassroots football now, the need for the development of football talents from a tender age to stardom has again been described as the bedrock of a functional sports architecture. Stakeholders emphasized this at the launch of Nuruddin Football Academy in Abuja, where over 50 young footballers are being tutored as they pursue their education as well as football career.
We have under 10, 13, under 15, under 17, and under 21. And that's why we decided to open camp. And we are looking some area against that. We are going to engage them some handworks. So we are preparing that. By the grace of God, if you don't make in football, you can make in handwork.
If you look at even the kids that are outside there, most of them are vulnerable children. And this has come to encourage them to be able to develop a talent that they have, that somebody is trying to help them to bring it to reality.
All right, just before we go, let's give you a bit of tennis as Carlos Alcaraz produced a dominant performance in Rome to beat world number 1 Yannick Sinner 7-1, 7-6, 6-1 to win the Italian Open title on Sunday. And of course, that loss ended the 26-match winning streak of Yannick Sinner. That does it on Sports Tonight. Let's now return to Ogo and of course, Claire.
All right, thank you, Bade. And of course, weather is next. Let's see how tomorrow is going to look like.
Good to have you on the weather forecast. We start off the week as we anticipate dust raised over Chad Republic to affect parts of Kano, Jigawa, Yobe, parts of Bauchi and Borno states in slight dust haze with good visibility. To other parts of the country, we anticipate mostly cloudy conditions with chances of morning thunderstorms to the coastal cities of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Rivers, Bayelsa, as well as slim prospect to the southeastern states. This includes parts of Imo, Abia, and Ebonyi states. As we go into the afternoon and evening hours, better prospects of thunderstorms are expected, particularly to the southeastern states and the southeast coast. To the north central and parts of Adamawa, Taraba, Kaduna, and Zamfara states, thunderstorms are expected. Stand by for temperature forecasts. Thank you for watching.
All right, we'll be taking a break now, and thereafter, Claire will be back with Newsline stories, including the beans and yam combo.
Welcome back to Newsline on the network service. Now, it wasn't an ordinary festival. I'm talking about the 2025 National Hula Festival. It was a culture in full throttle. From booming drums to bare-chested dancers, Zuru lit up with pride, power, and pure tradition. And honestly, if you ask me, except for Jacob in the biblical city of Haran, where else do suitors serve their in-laws for 7 whole years just to earn a bride? Well, Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa brings us the answer.
The Ohola Festival of Zuru Emirate is one of the 4 annual festivals celebrated in Kebbi State, and it is usually a big ground to showcase the rich age-long tradition of Zuru people, especially after a bumper harvest. I was particularly carried away when I was told that they don't accept cash or gifts as a bride price, but 7 years of hard labor, known as Gulmo. These young men have begun the journey. The last man standing will surely get his reward.
Our children, when they are very young, they are raised with that system of Golmo, of discipline, obedience, and being protective to the community.
The festival is an opportunity to perform traditional rituals of initiating young boys and girls into adulthood, known as Yadoto. The festival is not just about Zuru people, but every tribe resident in Zuru.
And our people and show the advice of us that state. Because yesterday, we had Yorubas, Igbos, Bansa, so that everybody is carried along.
I believe that Ohola has a future setting the pace for cultural presentations in this country.
The festival was no doubt a colorful one, with other events such as lectures, agric show, gala night, competitions in archery, wrestling, and local boxing, as well as the Zuru traditional grinding competition. Of course, there were winners. The Zuru Ohola Festival is not complete without traditional dance of Eron Bugundawa, a tradition of harvesting sorghum by farmers in the Emirate. It was not an event for making speech, but well attended by dignitaries, including top government officials, traditional rulers, and technocrats, among others.
The Ohola Festival epitomizes this pride
serving not only as a celebration, but also as a catalyst for tourism and economic growth within our domain.
I wish to assure you that this administration will continue to support the whole festival as well as other cultural events that promote the unity and economic growth of our dear state.
The Zulu Ohole Festival is not only showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the Zulu people, but it also attracts sons and daughters of Zulu Emirate from far and near in the spirit of unity, togetherness, and the prosperity of their emirate.
All right, so while yam is hailed as the king of foods in many Nigerian communities, in Magongo, Kogi State, the throne belongs to beans. And each year, locals gather for the Ekpase or Funfua eating competition, a festive event filled with drumming, dancing, and friendly rivalry. From elders to youths, participants compete not just for fun, but to honor a cultural legacy that binds community. And Jonathan Omajale brings us the story of how a simple plate of beans keeps tradition alive in the heart of Kogi State.
In Magongo, a community in Ugori Magongo local government area of Kogi State, no celebration feels complete without a dish made from beans. One of the most cherished delicacies is Ekpase, a savory treat prepared from mashed beans, carefully wrapped in banana leaves and cooked to perfection. Although Ekpase on its own is a hearty and satisfying meal, it becomes even more delightful when paired with efufua soup. This tasty soup is made from ekpesu leaves, okra, garden eggs, and other natural ingredients like pepper, completely free of artificial additives.
So there's nothing we do as tradition in our community here that we don't use beans. So all this will be mixed together. So when you are eating it, it's like you are taking a complete vegetable soup. But in this case, we use it for our bean cake, which we call ekpase.
If you have a wife and he offend you, when he serves you with ekpase, you're okay. When you eat it, your mind will settle down. You will just forgive her because it's so rich.
So special is this meal that the community has decided to promote it through the annual Ekpase Efufua eating competition, where contestants demonstrate their speed and appetite by devouring 2 kilograms in 6 minutes.
You must not drop on the floor. You must not hide it somewhere. You must not vomit. They'll be giving water to flow with it.
The essence of this program is to project the culture of Magongo community.
Have it at the back of our mind to use this as a unifying factor within all Magongo indigenous.
Something we all do to improve the community.
The Ekpase Efufua competition was not stressful. It was easy.
This is my first time participating. I feel so good, even though I did not even get the first position.
14 contestants took part in this year's edition. As it turns out, eating isn't just for nourishment or pleasure. It can also be a sport and a powerful expression of cultural identity and heritage. The event serves as a thrilling prelude to the Owiosese Festival, an important cultural celebration that signifies the initiation of young girls into womanhood and reinforces peace and unity within Magongo community.
I hear you. Now, although maximizing the spiritual blessings of pilgrimage is paramount, Saudi authorities go further to ensure that pilgrims to Holy Mecca are both physically and spiritually nourished. But for Nigerian pilgrims in particular, this mission is personalized, making sure that their meals honor cultural and spiritual needs. Jamilu Ibrahim reports on how this vital part of the pilgrimage is unfolding in Medina.
Feeding
is unarguably one of the most important aspects of the preparation for the annual Hajj operation in Saudi Arabia. While the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria takes care of the feeding of the pilgrims in Medina, the state pilgrims boards take charge of this all-important service in Mecca. Accordingly, the NAHCON contracted some 7 reputable kitchens to provide catering services for the Nigerian pilgrims this year in Medina. The caterers deliver breakfast and dinner to the pilgrims at their hotels daily. This is the kitchen of one of the companies engaged by NAHCON to provide catering services for Nigerian pilgrims in Medina this year. It is interesting to note that behind me are some Nigerians who are part of the cooks engaged as a deliberate effort to provide local taste and cuisine to the food.
We cook rice, jollof rice, rice and beans. We make semovita, tuwon shinkafa, taushe stew. We will give them okra, do kuka, and we do and ewedu.
This is the NAHCON's feeding committee in Medina on an inspection visit to the kitchens as part of measures to ensure that the caterers continue to respect the contractual agreement.
Visitation of these kitchens is part of those measures that have been taken to ensure they prepare this food in hygienic environment and ensure that the right quantity is served. The taste that is peculiar to Nigerian meals are prepared.
The feeding committee bans the use of preservatives and artificial flavor enhancers, while a special arrangement has been made to take care of the pilgrims with specific medical conditions.
We always identify and put them separately. So if we have some people, then we tell their leaders, the state officials, if you have any pilgrim who has special needs, this is the type of food that we're preparing for him.
Some Nigerian pilgrims speak with NTA News on their assessment of the feeding arrangement. I am satisfied with the taste of the food, but there is need for an increase in its quantity.
In fact, I want to tell you, in my room now, I still have some food left over that are not even finished, based on what they are making available for us.
We do it in Nigeria. Yes, it's just a bread and chicken stew.
The meals are complemented with fruits, even that the caterers promise to maintain standard and timely delivery of the food.
We make sure we follow the terms and conditions of the contract by giving the pilgrims the taste of Nigerian meals.
We have all it takes to serve the pilgrims well, in line with the contractual agreements. In fact, we deliver the meals 1 hour earlier and a good time.
Now, despite series of notice by management of the hotels that the meals should only be consumed in the dining halls, most of the pilgrims are adamant in taking the food into their rooms.
That's the Nigerian factor for you. All right, let's move to something much more intriguing. The scan verdict has twins. So the Equox prepared for 2 cribs, 2 names, and twice the joy. But after delivery, a different story started emerging, one that the Equox could not comprehend. Was it a scan error or something more sinister? Well, Annie Daniels takes a detour, this time not to Zuma Rock, but into hospital corridors in search of answers for us here on Newsline.
Eunice Bright, although she had had 3 children before now, was still delighted she was going to have a set of twins, and scan shows males. Excitement doubled. However, she got the shock of her life.
I asked one of the nurses that come to fix drip on me. I said, where is my second twins baby? He said, madam, I don't want to tell you this because doctor said they should not tell you anything. I said, why? If they tell me now, I may tell the doctors, it's okay. Doctor say, the baby is dead. I said, dead? How? Where is the dead body? You people show my husband and say, no. When she want to go, I now called her back. I don't understand. He said, to tell me the truth, the baby have scattered. I want to see the pieces and I want to see the bones. She did not answer me again.
Did you hear that? The second baby had scattered. Then she met another shock.
I take my baby to hospital for immunization. That is when I saw Dr. Wife coming with those 2 children.
6 months.
After 6 months, I gave birth. So, one exactly my child. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. I was totally confused on that day. So I be able to convince her to give me that child, that I'm their family friend. It's okay, she don't know me. I say, but your husband know me, is my doctor. I be able to convince her to remove the cap of the child. Exactly, my baby, no different. When I reach home, I called my husband that I've saw my baby. He said, where? I said, it's in doctor's hand.
With this, Mr. and Mrs. Ekwok were sure their baby was stolen, and they swore to get him back.
So I began to ask for my scan result. They are looking for your scan. I say, yes. He said, they have burned my file. They have burned the scan result, they have burned the file. After 6 months, you burn the file. The last one, me and my husband went there. He told us that, what do we want to use the scan result for? We said, we want to use for my baby's certificate, birth certificate. It's okay, we'll do it freely for us. I said, no.
Surely they have a big battle ahead.
I told the woman that I want to sell my wrapper, I'm hungry. That is how I'll be able to convince her we become friends. And I asked her one day, are you sure you are the owner of this child? He said, yes. Why can't you breastfeed this child? Why can't you bath this child? Why can't I say, doctor, where is my twins baby? He said, you have come to carry your twins baby? I say, yes. He said, your twins baby, look at the ceiling, look at me, look down, and he breathed down. He said, this is your twins baby. He pointed that very child in that house. I carried the child. When I want to go, that is when this wife now held me on my clothes, that you are going nowhere. After I've trained this child has become like 1 year now. You want to carry this child? His wife now run outside and say, hey, make una come, oh. This woman, she's a thief, oh. She come to steal our baby, oh. People begin to come, and me too, I started explaining what happened.
At this point, the young couple decided to escalate the matter by going on air. This step, of course, did not go down well with the doctor and his wife. In response, the doctor again brought in law enforcement agents.
For Mido police station, when they asked us for what do they want us to do, we told them that we want DNA tests. And they now say that they can't do DNA tests until the children reach 8 years. 8 years, and they will put us in prison for 7 years. So I started laughing. The reason why I was laughing, because I know that even a day baby, they can do DNA. They locked me for 3 days, my wife 1.5 days. After everything, they bailed us. They said that we will only beg the doctor before they will leave us. The pressure, the intimidation and everything, now, they are the one that wrote a sign that will not go there to take the children, that will not near the hospital, will not visit, will not even talk about the child again.
But why would the doctor and his wife refuse to carry out a DNA test?
That the doctor did IVF, and it's not that they don't want the family to even know that the doctor has a challenge, that he can't even donate. So that's why they are hiding it.
I put several calls through to Dr. Timothy Zeje, but he did not speak. Mr. and Mrs. Ekwok say they know it is a long way from here, but are sure the law will take its course. Newsline will keep you updated as events unfold.
What else can we say? Annie Daniels, we trust you to keep tabs on this. And of course, we will bring you as the story unfolds on Newsline. You're watching Newsline. If you've just joined us, please don't go away. We're taking a first break. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back. Now, friendship through the years built on love rings out as the Indomie Fan Club celebrates 2 decades of brightening childhoods. Marking its 20th anniversary in Lagos, the club's manager pledges to spread even wider smiles by reaching more children nationwide. Newsline's Diana Ajali joins the festivities and the chorus to bring us the story.
It was fun all the way for selected children between the ages of 4 and 12, drawn from primary and secondary schools across Lagos metropolis, as management of Indomie Fan Club rolled out the drums to celebrate the club's 20th anniversary. The event, which kicked off at the Eric Moore premises of Duffy Primer Foods Limited, makers of one of the children's most loved fast foods, Indomie noodles, featured parade, road show. The celebration was also taking round environs down to National Theatre Igomu, the main celebration venue.
They are marching. I love everything they did.
Thank you, Indomitable Fan Club. God bless you.
High point of the ceremony was the unveiling of Indomie Fan Club new theme song.
Indomie Fan Club bringing us together. Indomie Fan Club learning every day. Indomie Fan Club, oh la 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 la.
I've been in the fan club for over 15 years now. It's been a wonderful experience.
Manager Indomie Fan Club, Faith Ogichukwu, highlighted the club's various engagements with children and its impacts.
It's indeed a journey of love. We really want to have a song that the interpretation of the song will be what is reality. Of course, Indomie Fan Club, we encourage friendship, oneness. So, and the children, you can see the children, just in 1 second, the children are also singing the song.
What we're actually teaching these children is unity amongst them, showing love to each other, creating that platform for everyone.
Established in 2005, Indomie Fan Club is one of the vibrant initiatives by Duffy Prima Force Limited that promotes education, increased bonds between children and their families, brings joy and a sense of belonging among lovers of Indomie noodles, which is part of the company's corporate social responsibility.
Now, transportation drives economic growth and trade, yet Nigeria can only unlock its full benefits with a comprehensive, seamlessly connected policy covering every mode of travel. That imperative framed the 2025 Global Transport Policy Roundtable, now in its second year, where industry leaders and government officials gathered in Lagos to chart an integrated intermodal strategy for rejuvenating the nation's transport sector. Joel Bukwola reports.
Nigeria's transport industry has been through various modifications over the years, leading to a significant leap in modernized inter- and intra-city transport. But there is a disconnect in the means and mode of transportation. Addressing these gaps is what stakeholders at the Global Transport Policy, Intermodal Transport System and our roundtable are dissecting while leveraging the successes recorded by other countries.
Integrated multimodal transport systems are essentially for reducing transportation costs, improving efficiency, and enhancing overall competitiveness of our economy.
In their respective presentations, various speakers from Nigeria and other parts of the continent described the theme of the roundtable hinged on sustainable transport system, global best practices and lessons for Nigeria as apt, alluding to the fact that Nigeria, despite its economic prowess, does not have a national transport policy that is in tandem with current realities.
The transport system has the power to reduce inequalities, unlock regional potentials, and vastly improve the quality of life.
So harmonizing policy at ECOWAS level can facilitate the free movement of goods and service across borders.
Communication between different type of transportation, road, sea, train, and air.
Managing Director of Lamata, who represented the Lagos State Governor, lauded the convener for the bold initiative.
We need rail, inland waterways, non-motorized transport and aviation, all linked through smart systems and inclusive designs.
Observers, including the organizer, believe the gains of the intermodal transport system cannot be overemphasized.
Transportation needs to complement each other, and that's the only time we can facilitate economic development in Nigeria.
So transport is a very good system in terms of development. We also look at the Lagos-Abuja corridor, which is expected to move both people and goods from within the length and breadth of ECOWAS member states.
Speakers at the panel sessions posited that public-private partnership approach will hasten the expected outcome. The communique adopted charges relevant authorities to upscale infrastructure and address funding gaps to open up the sector for speedy development.
Thank you, Joel. Now, 90 years young, Professor Mary La drew former presidents, governors, lawmakers, and old allies to Abuja, where a joyful birthday fete doubled as the launch of her latest book. Now, proof the widow of Middle Belt legend Solomon La still shapes minds and hearts as surely as she once helped shape Nigeria's political map. Momso Damien Tati was there for Newsline.
90 and fabulous. A year many desire to attain, but few get to see. Here comes Professor Mary La, strong, healthy, and gallant, stepping into hers in grand style.
Mama is the first female full professor of Northern Nigeria, the first to specialize in nomadic education in her PhD thesis.
The quality and caliber of guests in attendance, a clear testament to the influence and personality of the Lars, making impact and building legacies. A peek into the guest list reveals President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented by former Governor of Plateau State, Senator Simon Lalong.
Today, we have not merely combined to mark the passage of years, but to also honor a towering legacy of law, learning, leadership, and service to humanity.
Former presidents, sitting and past governors, members of the National Assembly, captains of industries, ministers, present and past, top government functionaries, traditional rulers, on and on the list goes.
We are now giving honor to our most deserving and honored icon and eminent Professor Mary Lam.
The young people need your mentorship, and we need you. You have done well. Look at the array of people that are here. It speaks volume. Your contribution to the development and growth of society.
Today we celebrate Mama, who epitomizes the value and essence of what a girl contributes to the family. And at 90, Mama is still mentoring younger ones.
A very hard-working woman,
Often than not,
a mother par excellence,
when a man of such
a woman who is dogged, committed.
I'm sure through all your trials.
The unveiling of Professor La's book, Live with My Best Friend, captures memories worth sharing.
I'm indeed very impressed that this book has been written by the inspiration of an anointed believer, of a teacher, the patience of a mother, the wisdom of a professor.
Here comes the nonagenarian.
This is a pure testimony of Nigerians showing such great love for the elderly. Life with my best friend is both attribute to the memory of my late husband and a greater friend of mine, which you will discover as you read through the book. It is my sincere hope that the book will inspire our new generation to live with purpose, compassion, and integrity.
To me, it's a story that when you do good, people respond.
Mama is God-fearing. I think that's what has kept her.
You know, these centenarians are really rewriting the rule book on aging. Now, 22 families in Owo local government area in Ondo State now have renewed hope after the Larry Briggs Foundation awarded full university scholarship to outstanding students of Imadi College, Owo. Now, the initiative is designed to expand educational opportunities for talented youths from disadvantaged backgrounds. Ifeoluwa Amoshile reports.
In a gesture of giving back to his roots, Owo-born philanthropist, public health advocate and chief executive officer of Larry Briggs Foundation, Dr. Larry Briggs, awarded full university scholarship to 22 students of his alma mater, Imade College, Owo, after 26 years of graduating from the school. The initiative is targeted at bridging the widening educational gap among youth in underserved communities. 16-year-old David Oricha, an aspiring medical doctor whose academic ambition had been clouded by financial difficulties, is one of the beneficiaries.
It will help me in donating back to the society and helping the generation behind me.
Other beneficiaries described the Larry Briggs philanthropic gesture as a gateway to success, while commending his foundation for reigniting their motivation and giving them a renewed sense of purpose.
I want the whole world to know me as the best medical doctor first, and I know that this scholarship award will help me with it.
I want to be a lawyer. I want to go against bribery and corruption, to fight injustice. And this scholarship has really helped me, and I know that my future career is going to be great.
What I aim to be in the future is to become a medical doctor.
The initiator, Dr. Briggs, said the foundation's mission is to close the educational gap, especially in public schools where talented students are often left behind due to lack of resources.
This is a springboard for the next one coming, which is next year, whereby it's going to cut across all the 18 local governments in Ondo State and all the public secondary schools in Ondo State. We're going to write to them to present their best students for us to subject them to the Larry Briggs Scholarship Qualifying Exam.
Olowo Ovowo Obajibade Ogunye commended the initiative and urged the students to remain focused and committed to academic excellence.
They should see this as just a starting point. There are still challenges ahead. From here, they will go to the university and other higher institutions of learning.
Larry Briggs Foundation, a non-governmental organization, is committed to improving access to education through scholarships, mentorship, and community-based support.
The graceful dance steps of ladies from Owo. Now, when you arrive safely at your destination, it's not by accident. There's someone somewhere who's been working behind the scenes to keep our roads safe. Now, one of such people is Dauda Alibio, who once combined the high-risk duty of road safety enforcement with quiet acts of philanthropy. Now, for a tireless service to humanity, he was turbaned Chakaban's Sabongeri Zaria by the Emir of Zazzau, a title met with cheers from community he's long uplifted. Lawal Salau Inwa was there.
It is another historic moment in the ancient city of Zazzau when personalities within and outside Kaduna State took to catch a glimpse from honoring a son of the soil from Sabongeri Zaria. This is nobody but someone who transformed the lives of hundreds of families in Kaduna and put a smile on the faces of many youths with employment in public service. Dauda Ali Biyu was born in 1964. His parents, Malam Ali and Hawa Ali, hailed from Biyu in Borno State. He is turbaned by the Zazzau Emirates as the Jagaba of Sabongeri Zaria. An accountant by profession who graduated from Ahmadu Bello University in 1987, joined Federal Road Safety Co. in 1988. An alma mater of Government Day Secondary School Tukur, Dauda Ali Biyu rose to the position of co-marshal, which the sector recorded numbers of achievements under his leadership. This could not stop at Federal Road Safety alone, but contributed to nation building and humanity in general, particularly his immediate environment.
It's an opportunity that is given to him again to serve the community more than he did when he was in service, because he now has more time.
He has contributed immensely to the development of this local government and the entire state and Nigeria in general.
It's a big challenge ahead of him now because he has been recognized by the society that's a good man, then therefore the good thing should continue.
It's well-deserved honor to him, and I'm sure by the special grace of Almighty Allah, he will have the strength, the wisdom to continue to serve his community very well.
We just have to thank him very much for what he has done, and we wish him all the best.
And it's a good appointment, and he deserves it. He did a lot for people of Sabongeri, to be precise. There is nothing as good as people you stayed with, people you assisted appreciate you.
full of joy, myself, my entire family, friends, and well-wishers. I think it is a good thing, it's a good development, and we are grateful to God.
Retired but not tired, Dauda Ali Biu challenged Nigerians to join hands in making Nigeria greater.
All right, that was the Jagaba, not Jagaban, as I said earlier on. My apologies. All right, now it was a joyful moment as families of Yakubu Lamai and Aminu Ibrahim came together to witness the union of their children, Ibrahim and Khadija, in a beautiful wedding fatia. The religious rites were performed at the Sheikh Jafar Adam Mosque in Angwadoza in Kaduna. Joint dignitaries, including Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State and former Governor Issa Yuguda of Bauchi. Suraj Abdullahi brings us the highlights of this memorable celebration.
Jafar Mahmoud Mosque in Ngwardoza, Kaduna played host to hundreds of friends, family members, and well-wishers to witness matrimonial bliss between Ibrahim Yakubu Lamai and Khadija Aminu Ibrahim. Former Governor of Bauchi State, Issa Yuguda, represented the groom at the instance of Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, who left the wedding venue for another official engagement, while Saidu Ali Muhammad gave out the bride's hand in marriage. Guests were hosted to a reception in Kaduna by the bride's family. Later, the groom's family welcomed the bride to their homestead in Abuja. Parents, friends, and well-wishers shared their joy with the couple, as well as offer guidance to them.
For me, I am fulfilled and overwhelmed, and I'm actually short of words. I'm truly grateful to God, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for a day like this, to see my son, my eldest son Ibrahim, getting married.
And may Almighty Allah bless our home, bless them, and protect them.
You must maintain that peace and unity. You must maintain cordiality. You must respect one another.
Ibrahim has been living with me since the age of 3 years. And he grew up an excellent boy, very intelligent. So I'm very proud.
Marriage is easy and it's also very difficult. Difficult if you don't have anybody to guide you. Easy if you have a guidance. Ibrahim is lucky. He has his father, his dad, very experienced. And I think if he follows his father's advice in everything he does in life, he is going to succeed.
It is no more relationship, but patience should be their watchword.
We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provides them with everything that they need to set up their family.
We're all excited for her. Today is a very big day for her.
The lovebirds vow to live with mutual respect.
I would say I'm ready to step into this new phase, and we'll let Allah guide us through the way.
I am truly overwhelmed with joy at the moment, just as my father mentioned. I can't thank everyone enough for the total support, and inshallah, this is the beginning of something special.
Congratulations, Ibrahim. And I really testify to Ibrahim's very amiable conduct. We wish you all the best. This is Newsline. Please don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now, Anike Agbaje Williams was destined for the screen, blessed with striking poise and guided by Providence into a pioneering career that shaped television broadcasting in Nigeria and beyond. Now, as colleagues and viewers reflect on her trailblazing achievements, calls grow for a monument that will enshrine her legacy for generations.
Coming through the dictionary for accolades, words cannot describe the indelible mark the life of Anike Agbaje Williams made in the history of broadcasting in Nigeria. This was the mindset of many who converged on Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, for the final rites of passage of the late sage. To celebrate this life of legacy, media icons, entertainers, and dignitaries from all walks joined the Agbaje Williams family to celebrate the life of the Queen Mother of TV, as she bids farewell to the microphone for life.
This is the way the Bible teaches us to envision our lives.
that in this world we are pilgrims. Service to God and mankind.
From dust we come, to dust we return. Her remains were committed to Mother Earth. Earlier, there was a media night of tribute that afforded media icons the opportunity to eulogize the professional broadcaster, and a service of songs where testimonials about Mama Anike outside of broadcasting were extolled.
We're neighbors in Iyaganku in 1975, and she was such a great companion that we all enjoyed being very close to them.
She was the first face on a TV screen in the whole of Africa. That is an inspiration for me.
She did everything to perfection, and she laid a good example for those of us, her children, to copy.
Attention to detail, and she was a good mother-in-law to me.
She would crack a lot of jokes, and she loves dancing, and she would sing funny songs.
How she works and how she likes things to be perfect, that is unmatchable as well.
Anike Agbaje Williams opened the floor of television broadcasting in Africa on the 31st of October 1959, and her golden voice was one to reckon with. And she served at WNBS, WNTV, which later became NTA, and the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, BCOS, where she rose to become Director of Programs before retiring in July 1986 after 32 years of inspiring and trailblazing service. Anike was married to the late Honorable Justice Samuel Agbaje Williams, former Chief Judge of the Old Oyo State. She died on the 26th of February 2025 at the age of 88. She is survived by children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. With her regular mantra, the show must go on.
At Debieda, one destined for broadcast. All right. So prepare for the end will surely come. With that sober refrain, man has gathered to bid farewell to Deaconess Alice Ulualola Akinshiju, pillar of the Akinshiju clan and mother of veteran broadcaster and former Fortune and Class Editor-in-Chief, High Chief Omoni Akinshiju. Newsline's Ime Udori captures the sights and sounds and heartfelt tributes from a service that celebrated a life of steadfast faith and family devotion.
Deaconess Alice Oluwalola Akinshiju was described as a devoted Christian, mother, friend, and businesswoman who did not only live for herself but also lived for others, leaving indelible footprints. Vicar and Archdeacon of Holy Trinity Anglican Church, Ilasamaja, Venerable Matthew Arowo Shegbe, where Mama dedicated her life to the service of God, used the occasion to appreciate her dedication and selfless service, calling on the congregation to emulate her outstanding qualities and live a meaningful life, knowing that there is an end. Earlier, an act of tribute was held in her honor.
What we have done.
Mama Akinshiju's remains were later interred. Her children said the vacuum Mama left can never be filled.
It was available for all my needs, growing up. And more than that, I also learned some business characteristics or attitude from her, how to be focused, how to be diligent.
She was one that single-handedly sent us to school, all the three of us. I love her so much.
The impactful life Mama lived, which also reflects on her children, was no doubt responsible for the large turnout of those who came to celebrate the life and time of Mama Alice.
I had great memories with her when I was younger, and I would say it's something I am proud of, and I will continue to keep her legacy.
And she's committed to helping
So while I was staying with my grandma, she's always looking out for me. Mama will shelter you, Mama will clothe you, Mama will feed you, Mama will take good care of you. That's the kind of person Mama Ghana was.
Executive Director, News, NTA, Ayo Adewinyi, was represented by the Assistant Director, News, Lagos Network Center, Jennifer Igwe. Late Alice Akinshiju, fondly called Mama Ghana, was born to Gbadebo royal family of Ipetu, Ijesha in Osun State in 1929. She spent most of her life in Ghana as a businesswoman, after which she got married and returned to Nigeria, where she continued her cross-border trade in all kinds of goods. A business she was identified with until her old age. Mama is survived by children, many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. She was aged 96.
And may her soul rest in peace. I do apologize. We'll not be able to take you to Banky Town today, but stay with us next week. And so, all is well that ends well. That's one of my favorite lines from Shakespeare, the bard himself, reminding us that every story has its close. But if your day went more oops than aha, well, that's how life scripts it. Who knows? Your little drama may just steal our show on Newsline next week. From me and the indefatigable Newsline crew, good night, everyone.